This program is brought to you by thepodcastfactory.com.
Hi, my name is Igor Kheifets, and this is the List Building Lifestyle, the only podcast which delivers cutting-edge conversion strategies from the online trenches straight to your earbuds. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. I also invite you to grab a free copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. And now, once again, it's time to claim your list building lifestyle.
You are listening to the List Building Lifestyle Show. Welcome back, list builders, to another information, fun-filled episode with the czar of solo ads. Or are you the king of solo? What is your title today, Igor?
Last I checked, I was the Big Daddy Prince of solo ads.
Big Daddy
Prince.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So here is the Big Daddy Prince of solo ads, Mr. Igor Kheifets.
Hey, John, I got a personal question.
Oh, don't do that to me.
So when you got some alone time with the cupcake, I think that's the nickname, yeah. Right? The cupcake. So what do you guys do? Like, what's your number one favorite activity for alone time besides having sex, of course, or whatever?
Yeah. So it's changed a little bit since we're working together, but we just love to sit quietly and watch a show. And not have a kid be like, mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy, mommy, daddy.
Trust me, I know exactly how you feel. It's like my kid, like she's waiting for the moment when you engage into a conversation about something really interesting with another adult. And she just comes in and she's like, mom. Like with that Family Guy episode. Remember when Stewie was in love with Lucy? He's like, mommy. And he stood there for like 2 minutes. Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying, and yeah, same thing here. Me and Anastasia, we love watching a good old movie, and somehow we always end up watching Tom Cruise movie too. So a couple of days ago, we were bored as usual after Erika went to bed, and we decided to see Days of Thunder, which is a movie I've seen a long time ago, and I didn't even remember what it was about besides Tom Cruise and NASCAR. So. I mean, this movie left an imprint on me. First off, amazing cast, right? So you got young Tom Cruise, you got Robert Duvall, you got Nicole Kidman before she had her face completely changed with plastic surgery. Great synergy, great dynamic. I mean, I just enjoyed every single minute of it. Fast cars, I'm a big car buff. I mean, cars going at like 300 kilometers an hour. Awesome. And there was one scene in that movie that really just left me kind of sort of like with my jaw on the floor. And so just kind of like a little bit of a spoiler, but it's an old movie, so it doesn't count as a spoiler, I guess. So Tom Cruise is making his way up the ranks in NASCAR. He's showing promises, and he gets into a crash with another driver. And since then, his health isn't as ideal as it was before the crash. And so this doctor, played by Nicole Kidman, she basically worries about him because she fell in love with him, and now she's like at the track, at the Daytona 500, like last 30 laps, so stakes are high, and he needs to get back into the race, but it's dangerous because he's tired. There's like tons of crashes on the track. He can get killed literally, or at the very least, he can get really, really hurt. So she says to him, he's like, I think his name was Cole Trickle. Like the hero's name is Cole Trickle. He's like, Cole, be careful out there. And I mean, why don't you just don't drive as fast. Just take it easy. And he turns around. He says, I don't remember what her name is. Was it Maggie or? Do you remember?
No.
No. Okay, never mind. So let's just say it was Maggie. And so he turns around. And he says, Maggie, I'm more afraid of being a nobody than I am of being hurt. What a powerful statement. I mean, it really sums up everything that a hardcore entrepreneur is at his heart, right? I mean, it's the reason why we get into business. It's the reason why we're not ever settling for a job. It's the reason why we don't settle for just good emails. We want to write the best emails. We don't settle for just good conversions. We want the best conversions. If we made 10K this month. We don't sell it for 10K. We want to make 20K the next month. And women don't get it. Like my wife, anytime I have a conversation with her about, trying to create more growth or trying to improve or achieve something else, she's like, but you already proved everything to everybody. You already have this and you already have that. Why do you keep trying so hard? What's your problem? Why can't you just settle and stay home with me and just, become a couch potato and watch movies all day long? And she doesn't get it, like, because it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're just getting started or you're a billionaire like Mark Cuban or Donald Trump, right? There's always going to be the next level that you want to hit. And if you know deep within your core, in the heart of hearts, if you know you can do it, if you know there is just a slight chance of you being able to achieve that peak, the next peak, then, and you're not doing it and you're not giving it your best shot, then you're a nobody. Like, that's how that's what you become automatically. You become a nobody because you could have, but you didn't.
I like it. I like it. It reminds me of, I think we have similar email philosophies where it's either unsubscribe or buy, right? Die or buy kind of thing. And that's what I'm afraid of with my emails. It's like, if I don't email every day, these people will forget who I am. But if I at least show up consistently, there's an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very easy to say, you know what? I've emailed every day for the last 22 days. If they don't hear from me today, it's not a big deal. They still know who Jonathan is, right?
No.
But it's just that one email. And when you write the email, right? When you write the actual email, it's like, is this line good enough? Like, is this word choice good enough? Or should I look for a synonym that maybe delivers that point across better? Or, is this opening paragraph? Is it too long? Is it too short? Is it impactful? Does it get them to read the next line? Or is it just weak? And, my response will be 3% lower than it could have been. So, that philosophy of being afraid of being a nobody, being afraid of to not matter, being afraid of not living up to your true potential, that is a prerequisite to becoming great at anything, especially email, right? Or marketing or running your own business, whatever that is. I mean, and that Cole Trickle's philosophy in the Days of Thunder, I mean, it's just such an incredible reminder to what we must be deep within, to the way we must perceive ourselves and the world around us in order to achieve.
Did you read Grit by Angela Duckworth?
No, not yet.
Yeah, so put that on your reading list. But that's actually, it's coming up more and more that the people that are successful, the people that achieve, are the people that have grit, that have resilience, that when they get knocked down, they get back up. And the only way that you're going to have that is having that deeper why. Why am I doing this? And the other thing that I don't think you're mentioning here, and maybe you're different, and so maybe we should explore this a little bit, but I don't really feel like I'm in competition with anybody. I mean, I know there's people that do things like I do, but I feel like my biggest competitor is always me, and I'm always measuring myself by my last great accomplishment. How do you look at that?
Well, I agree with you, and at the same time, I can add that I do have competition. I see them as competition. So there has to be a balance for everyone who's competing or doing anything that is competitive, like business, like sports, to see the competition, but to also have some cooperation levels too. Because right now, what I see in the world is that competition, cooperation, there's a huge gap between them, and it's too big, which prevents a lot of progress. A lot of times, progress happens because two competitors kind of join forces and create something great together, right? But if you're all just about the scarcity mindset and everything is everybody is a competitor, then you won't do as much good to this world. You won't achieve as much for yourself or for your enterprise as you could have if you joined forces with somebody who you may even have perceived as a competitor. So, but yeah, primarily you have to be comparing yourself to yourself yesterday. So one of the ways to get to me, like if you really wanted to kind of get under my skin, is to show that, say, compared to this time last year, I haven't grown in some way, shape, or form. So if we take a measuring stick, whatever that is, like, and you should have several of those, primarily can be money. The other one can be your condition, like health, physical and mental, right? It could be your relationships, that too. So if I find myself personally not progressing, not creating measurable and meaningful progress in any area of my life, then I am upset. I am really upset. And if you came to me and you said something along the lines of, you know what, don't worry, Igor, you're just 28 and you have plenty of time. And you know what, you work hard already. I mean, nobody works as hard as you, so it's okay. I mean, you haven't made any progress this year, but you know what? That's fine. So if you that's the most annoying thing that anyone can ever tell me. Like several years ago, I had this conversation with my wife, and I was complaining to her about not hitting some financial milestone in my business. After like 2 or 3 years, I was stuck at some glass ceiling, and I told her, I was like, "Oh, I'm already 24 or 25 or something, and I'm still not making X. You know, it's pissing me off." She's like, "So what? You're just 25." I wanted to just choke her. You know?
Now I get it. Now she's motivating your ass because she does that stuff.
But she really means it,
I'll
though.
show
That's
you.
the difference. That's the problem. She means it. You know, she thinks she's trying to calm me down, and you know, and she means it when she says that. You know what? Don't try so hard. Don't be so upset. You're just 24. You're just 25. It's gonna happen someday. But now I'm 28. It's been 3 or 4 years since that conversation, right? And if I haven't made that progress, like let me put it in a different way, I wouldn't have made that progress. I wouldn't have achieved the next peak if I had that mentality because I would always keep pushing back. So I'll give you another example. My brother was always like that. He was always all about like, you're young, because he's like 10 years older than me. So anytime I would complain to him about not achieving something because and being a certain age, he would say, you're just 20. You're just 25. You're just 28. So, earlier today I got a call from him, and he shared with me that he's concerned with the fact that the employer that he's working for right now may be out of business like 2 or 3 years from today, because there's some fundamental changes in their industry and in the neighborhood where that business is located, because there's some bigger businesses that are coming in. So the city kind of grew, the neighborhood grew. There's like a bunch of new houses came up. So like all of a sudden, a lot of chain stores came in, and so now he's concerned about his future. Now is too late, though. In a way, I mean, obviously it's never too late. You can always do something. But now he's doing something or tries to do something that he should have been trying to do 5 years ago, when I told him that it's time. Okay, but he's only feeling it now, and he's now getting into the groove. But he could have done it 5 years ago, and by now he wouldn't have been bothered by that problem at all, because he'd either be in a different position or maybe has started his own business. So my point is, you can never settle. You can never allow yourself to settle for what you are. I mean, it's awesome that you are what you are. It's awesome that you made it this far. I don't care if you're making nothing or if you're making $100,000 a month. Like, it's awesome. Wherever you are right now, I congratulate you for that. I bet it wasn't easy. Okay, I bet it wasn't easy. But you can't settle for it. Like, you're not allowed to sit there for more than 3 seconds patting yourself on the back. You have to get out and get uncomfortable again. You have to achieve, get uncomfortable, so you can achieve some more. Otherwise, as soon as you get complacent, as soon as you settle, as soon as you become enough for yourself, that's when you stop achieving. That's when that drive just disappears, and you allow yourself to get lazy. And if you are in business for yourself, the moment you get lazy is the moment when you sign your own death warrant.
Two things. It seems like maybe you don't know your role. You're trying to prepare your dad for life. You're trying to prepare your older brother for life. You're the youngster. Why are you trying to tell these guys what to do? That's why they're not listening to you.
Well, thank you for pointing that out after
I don't want to
7 years of me doing it.
They're like, get out of here, kid.
I understand that now. Yeah, I understand that now.
The
Nobody
other thing,
listens
though,
to the kid.
they don't want to listen to the kid. How's he know what he's talking about? Stupid kid sitting in a coffee shop recording podcasts while they're out working and stuff. What's wrong with this kid? Doesn't know anything. So that drive that you're talking about, when is enough enough? When have you achieved? When do you stop?
That's a great question. And I'll ask you a different question. So, you know how professional football players make a shit ton of money. So they make a shit ton of money, and let's just say some football player just signed a contract for making a gazillion dollars. Why does he sign another contract 2 years from today, making gazillion dollars plus another million?
He can.
Because that's what we are. Our built-in mechanism does not ever allow us to settle for what we've got. That's the primary reason why we evolved into such an advanced species. Because if you notice, I think Tony Robbins talks about it. When everything is great, we need some excitement in our life. That's when we decide to achieve more. When everything is bad, we are striving towards safety, which actually forces us to achieve. So if your financial situation sucks, you then have this internal drive and passion to fix it. So you end up building a business to pay the bills, and all of a sudden this becomes like a flagship business, like Walmart or whatever. All of a sudden, you're big. If, on the other hand, you already own Walmart and everything's good, and you get bored, you then start another company because you're bored, because you need something else, because you need to do something that gets you going again. Because waking up in the morning without that drive isn't something that we're built for. Like, complacency is just not something that is sustainable, in my opinion. And if you force yourself to sustain your complacency, you actually have to work hard at it too. Like, so check this out. So it's easy to fall into a complacency pattern, but then it gets really hard to maintain it because all of a sudden your life gets really, really bad. And it's just as hard to get out of that complacency pattern and then to sustain the achievement. It's also hard, but then your life is awesome. It's hard, but it's awesome. You know what I mean? Well, complacency is hard, but it's difficult because everything becomes a problem in your life. So you get to choose how you want to live it. Do you want to live a life where you work hard and it's awesome? Or do you want to live a life where you don't work, yet it's still really hard and it sucks? I know what I'm choosing.
So it reminds me, I don't know where I heard this quote. I wish I could give credit to it. But basically it goes like this: rich people have tons of problems. Poor people have only one problem. Their problem is life. And shit, that is a tough problem. I'd rather be on the other side of that. So, Igor, we're wrapping up here. Any final thoughts you want to share with the list builders?
Yeah, a lot of people take movies as forms of entertainment. But what they fail to recognize is that each movie is a written story that is just played out on screen. And as a rule, the writer tries to convey a message of some sort that he conveys through the story. So, I just love to watch movies like Days of Thunder, like that revolve around sport events or particular athletes, especially if it's like based on a true story, like say Remembering the Titans with Denzel Washington. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Like it's a movie about American football back in like the 70s or the 60s, and this black coach comes in and he unites a white team with a black team, building a mixed team, if you will, the only one in the state. And he goes on to, this is a spoiler by the way, mute me right now if you don't want a spoiler. He goes on to win the championship without losing a single game, even though he bumped into some major obstacles. So, watching movies like that for me is educational and inspirational. It's not just entertainment, and it's not just for the sake of making me feel better. It's where I get to learn lessons that I otherwise cannot learn elsewhere. And then when I learn these lessons and I kind of see how these lessons come out in real life, I get to, I get reminded of these lessons when I rewatch these movies again and again and again. I can rewatch them like nonstop. Like I can do marathons of these movies. So my advice to you, if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have somebody who's keeping you accountable, is to watch as many of these movies as possible in your free time rather than scroll through your newsfeed or play, Candy Crush, because, they bring not just inspirational value, but educational value for entrepreneurs. And you can recognize it if you look for it. So for me, nothing's better as far as education is concerned. Sure, there's no tactics in these movies, but as far as mindset, behavior, examples of just righteous entrepreneurship, I would go for these movies all the time.
You heard it here first, boys and girls. Igor says to watch more TV, and that'll get you to success. All right, another episode of List Building Lifestyles in the can. We'll be back in your earbuds next time. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you for listening to the List Building Lifestyle. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes or Google Play to never miss an episode. Because who knows, just one conversion tactic we share on the show might double your list and double your business. Download the transcript of today's episode and all future episodes at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com. And don't forget to claim your complimentary copy of the Wealthy List Builder Survival Guide at listbuildinglifestyleshow.com/survival. This is Igor Kheifets, and until next time we talk, have a good one.
This is the podcastfactory.com.